This year had a particular importance because it was the 125th anniversary of the Rose Parade. It was the 100th Rose Bowl game. It was the 100th anniversary of Tournament House on South Orange Grove Boulevard, which provides a home and headquarters to the Tournament of Roses. Most people who have commented to me about the parade said it was the best parade ever. It was a little shorter than some, but it was more active, more entertaining, more innovative and different from the past. And so from my point of view as mayor, I'm in the business of highlighting the strengths and the benefits of this great city. The Tournament of Roses 2014 was one of the great events in the city's history.
Preparing the launch pit for the assembly of the world's largest TBM.
The tunnel boring machine arrived 2 weeks ago, and now we're in the final preparations for that launch pit, where we can set the machine inside that launch pit and begin the drive later this summer.
Very shortly next week we'll start lowering the TBM components into the launch pit, begin assembling the TBM. That's going to take about 2 months, so we're looking at just after the 4th of July, tunneling through the head wall, which you see at the north end of the pit. And it's a double-deck roadway, 2 lanes of traffic on each deck with an 8-foot emergency lane, plus ancillary rooms and ventilation and signaling and the whole works. Needs to be put in the tunnel before we can open the tunnel to traffic.
The massive machine behind me will begin tunneling beneath downtown Seattle. At nearly 5 stories tall and more than 300 feet long, Bertha is the largest tunneling machine the world has ever seen.
Is expected to advance at about 36 feet per day.
Here's a look at Bertha's path so far. The tunnel boring machine began digging last July 30th. It traveled 1,019 feet and then got stuck on December 6th. The machine remained stalled till January 28th and 29th when it moved again, 4 feet. Bertha needs to travel a total of 9,270 feet. Right now she's about 11% of the way. No word when she'll start digging again.
Bertha is damaged. Today we get our first look at the work underground as crews try to figure out how to fix the giant tunnel boring machine. Any hopes of a quick restart of Bertha are buried tonight.
WashDOT officials say 2 problems bog down the machine and 1 threatens Bertha's most important and complex parts. King 5's Gary Chittum joins us live with a story he broke on Twitter. Gary?
Gene, still no movement going on behind me, and now there's a lot of movement going on between the consultants, the contractors, and everybody else. As you said, two problems. One, Bertha's cutter head was all clogged up. Not that big a deal. Number two problem is they found a leak in the seal that protects the main bearing. That's a device that helps the whole cutter head spin. That could be a very serious problem.
Newly released video shows crews chipping away at the first of two of Bertha's problems. Workers in a pressurized space removed the dirt and debris found in many parts of the machine's massive cutter head. It looked like it was all systems go for Bertha.
However, once they started remining, the heat indicators were still there.
So they stopped again. That was 2 weeks ago. During that time, they discovered seals protecting Bertha's critical main bearing were damaged and leaking. The seals are located behind the cutter head and surround the bearing. If there is damage to the bearing, and we don't know that yet, the entire cutter head may have to be removed to replace that bearing.
Whether this is something that they would be able to repair easily or whether it would take a much bigger effort, I really can't say yet until Seattle Tunnel Partners and Hitachi have finished their diagnosis.
So we're talking more and more time. Now, I guess it is also possible that they can pull that machine through the back of the machine, pull out that important bearing all the way through the back of the machine. And the good news is Bertha has a spare in the trunk. They had, by contract, they were forced to have another one of those bearings made. It's in Europe, but they can steam it over here if they need to install it. But the bottom line is Bertha's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. Reporting live from Seattle, Gary Chittum, King 5 News.
Gary, thank you.
Continue the big 405 project that continues to affect thousands upon thousands of drivers and residents every single day is now delayed with some major consequences. Good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock. I'm Chuck Henry.
And I'm Colleen Williams. The delay here, at least one entire year, and the extra cost could balloon to $100 million. NBC4's Conan Nolan live in the Sepulveda Pass right now with more on the impact of this delay. Conan.
Hello, Colleen. As you pointed out in the past, this is the most congested part of freeway in the nation. As we turn to News Chopper 4, we can show that it starts here in Sherman Oaks. Then it makes its way through the Sepulveda Pass all the way to Culver City and the 110 freeway, 10 miles. They were to build a HOV lane on the northbound side to alleviate traffic. Now, they were going to cut the ribbon on that in June, July, maybe August of this year. Now they've delayed that to June of next year, if then.
This has been just a mess of a project, and I'm very upset about it.
LA County Supervisor Zev Yaroslavsky says everybody knew it wouldn't be easy, but they didn't expect this. A one-year delay and $100 million cost overrun on the 405 expansion. The contractor blames unanticipated problems, such as utility lines found along the freeway.
I don't know how you don't know about it. One of the first things a contractor does before he starts a project like this is they find out where are all the pipelines.
But the biggest problem, says Yaroslavsky, who represents the West Side on the LA County Board of Supervisors, is what the construction is doing to residents.
People's homes have been damaged by jackhammers going on all day and all night. People have been unable to sleep because the jackhammers go on all day.
When we're done, we will have a continuous carpool lane between Orange County and the San Fernando Valley.
You're not convinced. It would be hard for me right now to say with a straight face that it's been worth it. People's homes have been damaged by jackhammers going on all day and all night. People have been unable to sleep because the jackhammers go on all day.
Truly, people are terrified by this. It is a terrifying prospect that would absolutely render Pasadena an entirely different city, and it's with no small amount of irony that we started this evening talking about an event that takes place in West Pasadena every year events, plural, that make us, the epicenter of the globe on New Year's Day, this would absolutely destroy that. This is like a dystopian nightmare.